Shanti. This is the meditation on the Murli of 10th of December 2025. Let us remind ourselves who we are. We are the spiritual children of the spiritual Father. And in that awareness, Father speaks to the spiritual children. He only sees the spiritual children. And each of us have received that eye, which we call it eye of knowledge, from the Father. And we see our brothers with this eye. When we continue to do this, the eyes that have become criminal will become civil. The Father says, you do have to make some effort in order to become the master of the world. Therefore, make this effort now. For you to make effort, Baba says, Baba gives you new and deep points every day. Therefore, now instill the habit of giving this knowledge to others while considering them to be your brothers. We are now true brothers because we know our Father and He is doing the service together with us. When we maintain courage, the Father helps. So the Father comes and gives us the courage to do service. And we have to practice this every day. Baba says, don't be lazy. Souls are studying this spiritual knowledge. Only at this time do we receive the spiritual knowledge from the spiritual Father, because He only comes at the confluence age when the world has to change. Father comes and gives spiritual knowledge. He says, consider yourselves to be souls. You souls came bodiless and you then adopted bodies here. You have taken 84 births from the beginning, and just as you come down number-wise, in the same way, you make effort number-wise in this knowledge and in yoga. Each of us we have to make our own effort for ourselves. We are not going to make effort for anyone else. We have to make effort for ourselves by considering ourselves to be a soul. And Baba says charity begins at home. It means that we have to make this effort first for ourselves and then ask others to do the same. When we first consider ourselves to be soul and give this knowledge to souls, our sword of knowledge will then be filled with the power. This does require some effort. Therefore, we definitely have to tolerate something or other. And at this time, that happiness and sorrow, respect and disrespect, praise and defamation, all have to be tolerated a little. Whenever anyone says wrong things, Baba says just remain silent. This is why the Father says, children, never respond in the same way over such matters in either of the vices of lust or anger. So in any situation, Baba doesn't want us to react. Baba says, you have to benefit everyone. Baba and Dada are now together, and therefore they are looking at each of us to see what effort we are making and what status we will receive. So Baba continues to explain, if you want to be happy, become Man Mana Bhav, consider yourself to be a soul and remember the Father. Just as you look at the Supreme Soul in front of you and you see that He is sitting on the immortal throne, in the same way, look at your brothers while considering yourself to be a soul and then talk to them. So first we have to be a soul, and then we see the soul. I am giving this knowledge to my brother, not a sister, but to a brother. That means we are not looking at the body. We give this knowledge to souls. When we instill this habit, our criminal eye, which has been deceiving us, will gradually stop. The Father has given each of us a third eye, and when we look at everything with this third eye, our habit of looking at bodies will finish. Therefore, this is called the spiritual knowledge. But look how elevated the status you receive. It is very powerful. Therefore, you have to make effort according to that. So, when we specially conduct meditation for everyone and consider ourselves to be a soul while looking at others in the center of their foreheads, the service they do will be very good. Those who sit here in soul consciousness will only look at souls. So Baba says, practice this a great deal. If you want to claim a high status, you have to make some effort for that. This is only effort you souls have to make, is to practice being a soul and seeing the soul. We only receive the spiritual knowledge once at this time, not any other time. Only when we first become Brahmins, we can become deities. It is only at this confluence age that we make this effort. Baba says, consider yourself to be a soul and also consider others to be souls. When giving this knowledge, churn everything that the Father explains to you. Judge for yourself whether it is right or not, whether it is beneficial for you. You will then instill this in yourself, the habit of giving your brothers the teachings that the Father has given you. These have to be given to females as well as males. After all, they all have to be given this knowledge because it is to be given to the souls. Souls become males and females, brothers and sisters. The soul, not the body, has this knowledge. Therefore, give this knowledge to him or her while considering him or her to be a soul. When you do this, they will also enjoy it. There will be power in your words. This is what Baba is telling us. And because you become soul conscious, your sword of knowledge will be filled with power. Therefore, practice this and see yourself. Baba says, judge yourself whether this too is right. You have been around the cycle and the play is now coming to an end. You now have to stay in remembrance of Baba. You are becoming Sattva Pradhan from Tamo Pradhan. And in order to be masters of Sattva Pradhan world, you will then come down the ladder again in the same way. Look how Baba explains in such a simple way. I have to come every 5,000 years. I am bound by this drama. I come and teach you this very easy pilgrimage of remembrance. By having remembrance of the Father, our final thoughts will lead us to our final destination. And this refers to this time. This is the final period of time, Antakal. It is at this time that the Father sits here and shows us the way. He says, constantly remember me alone and you will receive salvation. And Baba says children understand what they are to become by studying this knowledge. And he keeps saying repeatedly, nothing new. You have to go up and down the ladder. This play is about going up and down. By staying on the pilgrimage of remembrance, you will become very strong, and therefore he sits here and teaches us different ways and says, now become so conscious. Everyone now has to return home. Baba says, practice. I am giving this knowledge to my brother's soul to make him similar to myself. He too has to claim this inheritance from the Father because all souls have a right. Baba comes to give all souls their inheritance of peace and happiness. When we are in our kingdom, all of the souls are in the land of peace, and then there will be the cries of victory. When we are there, there will only be happiness. This is why Baba says, become pure. The greater your purity, greater the attraction. When you become completely pure, you will be seated on the throne. So, Baba says, practice this. You cannot continue without practicing by considering yourself to be a soul while sitting and explaining to other person, your brother soul. This is called the spiritual knowledge. The spiritual father is the one who gives this. Baba says, why do people turn the beads of rosary? Because we help the Father a great deal. We are remembered and we are also worshipped. We are worshipped more than Baba. He says, with regard to myself, it is just the soul who is worshipped. Look, you are worshipped in two ways, more than me. Since you become deities, you are worshipped as deities, and this is why you are ahead of me. You are ahead in your memorial, and you are also ahead in receiving your kingdom. Look how elevated I make you. There is a lot of love for lovely children by Baba. Baba says those children are seated on the shoulders or on the head, but Baba places you on top of his head. So we should be grateful for Baba on how he makes us more elevated than he himself does. And today's blessing, Baba says, may you be a complete yogi with the stage of a master creator, experience calamities or adversities to be entertainment. So when we remain stable in the stage of a master creator, the biggest adversity will be experienced as a scene of entertainment, just as we show the adversity of destruction to be means of gates to heaven opening. In the same way, let any small or big problem to be seen as a form of entertainment instead of cries of distress. Enable words of oh, wonder to emerge. Enable sorrow to be experienced in the form of happiness. While having the knowledge of happiness and sorrow, do not be influenced by them. Consider sorrow to be the company of your days of great happiness, and you will then be called a complete yogi. Slogan: to leave the heart throne of Baba and ourselves and have ordinary thought means to place our feet on the mud, on the ground, which is dirty. And Baba doesn't want that for his children. Avyakt Signal for karmateet stage. While doing anything, Baba says, have lightness in your body and lightness in your state of mind. Don't let your mind be pulled by the result of any action. However much the task continues to increase the lightness accordingly. Do not let any action pull you, but be a master, knowing that the one who is making you is making it happen, and the one who is carrying out the action is doing that as an instrument. Increase this practice and you will easily become complete and karmateet. So let us have this awareness of us being a silent observer. Whatever happens, we are brothers, we are in the play, and we only be the soul for our own effort first, and then we give the knowledge to others. So charity begins at home today. Om Shanti.